Welcome to the Loudest in the Room, everybody. This is once again your friend and host, Dre Big Chief Hall, along with my compadre, Mr. Jake Slim Jesus Stetnich.
Stetnich.
See, I was gonna say I said it right.
You did.
Geez, let me have the opportunity to say what I'm gonna say before you jump down my throat.
That's my apologies.
Yes, welcome to the show. Yes, it is good to be back in front of you guys on this wonderful what is today? Today is Thursday. Yeah, it's good to be back in front of you guys. We kind of took a little break simply because there's a lot of turmoil that's kind of going on in the world right now, and we kind of wanted to step back and because honestly, just seeing everything and watching what everybody was saying and all the comments on Facebook, all the posts on Facebook and social media going nuts and the news going crazy, I kind of wanted to step back and just, regroup and get myself together because it honestly, it started to affect me and it started to put me in a negative place, and that's not where I want to be in life. I don't want to be in a negative place. I know Jake doesn't want to be in a negative place. Yeah, we're missing one person right now, scheduling conflicts, but, we're still in a growing process trying to figure out, scheduling and how we're going to get this show together the way we want to get it together. But we didn't want to go too long with not doing a show and not coming in front of you guys. Like I said, we are live on Facebook now, so we want you guys to chime in and, we want you to be a part of the conversation. So, yeah, like I said before, I stepped away and we stepped away just so we could kind of regroup because we started to get into this negative mindset, and this show is not meant to be a divisive show, a negative show. This show is to bring people together, to highlight a lot of the good that's going on, bring some light to maybe some unsung heroes or some artists that's been doing their thing and just didn't get the recognition or haven't gotten the recognition yet that they deserve. So that's what this show is mainly about. So, man, I felt like I just needed to get that off my chest before we move forward, so it didn't seem like, well, we don't acknowledge what's going on in the world, because we do. We just don't want to be a part of that negative and divisive device that's happening, because you see a lot of change going on, and it's like, man, that change that's happening right now, it's pitting brother against brother and sister against sister and friend against friend because of the way they believe, and it's an ugly thing, and we want to get the ugliness out of it. We want to highlight some stuff that's gonna make you feel good and make you smile, and we want that fun, happy-go-lucky. And yeah, we do have to touch on certain subjects sometimes, but we don't want to get into a habit of just being that divisive show. So, that was a mouthful. Sorry. I was going on. I was on a tangent. I was feeling good, man. I felt like I was teaching a class, and
You did great.
everybody
You
was
did great.
Everybody was tuned in, and then I know you guys talking about me behind my back, but that's okay. I'm a substitute teacher. I don't care. All right, man, Jake, man. Man, how was your couple of, I say it's been about what, almost 2 weeks since we last got together and did a show. So, man, tell me what's been going on in those 2 weeks in the world of Jake.
In the world of Jake?
Yes, the world of Jake.
In the world of Jake. Well, the big one, the bars reopened, and we're back to work with the limited capacity, of course, but they are open, and I am back to work. And it was interesting because in the very beginning, and still, I mean, just being, with the bar being closed for so long, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, tomorrow we're opening, and extra cleaning. We're all cleaning extra. Just trying to get back in the swing of things. My schedule, I'm not used to it. Again, getting back in the swing of things with my schedule. So that's good. I'm a little money in my pocket is always good. I got
money
that
in your pocket is wonderful.
I got that wedding. I got that wedding.
You do have that wedding, man.
Wedding to pay for in November. So
honestly, I'm really excited about your wedding because
you should be.
You know what? I always love to turn up at a wedding and maybe I always love to turn up at a wedding
and just steal the show from.
you know what? I don't want to say it like that, but
Yes,
yeah,
you do. Yes, you do.
I do want to do it. You know what? I was at my brother's wedding. Not what was that? Back in 2011, or one of those years, man. It's been a while. My older brother Desi, he got married in Key West, and I can say I left everybody with a story because I was that guy. I got drunk.
Oh boy.
I flooded out a hotel, almost got divorced on that trip, but thank God it didn't happen. But I was that guy. It did.
You party in one person's wedding, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm gonna steal the show at your wedding, because that's what I do. You had your 15 minutes of fame there.
You know what? And I'm still living that fame. So
There you go. That's good.
Yeah, let's talk about the bars being back open, man. You know what? I did get to go out to the bar. What was it? It wasn't last Saturday. 2 Saturdays
Yeah,
ago.
Saturday before.
Yeah, and I don't want it to sound like crazy or weird or anything, but man, there's a bunch of weird people. Like, I've been out of it for so long. Like, I got back in, and then like the people I saw, I was like, man, these people are kind of weird. Like,
well, hold on. Before you talk about everyone being weird, I have noticed there are still people that are keeping their distance and still a little afraid to go, to the bar. I'm afraid to go to the gym, but I work in a bar, so I have to go to the bar.
Yeah.
And I also love being in bars. But there are people that are afraid of going to the bars, and I mean, us young people, we put on our YOLO hats, and we, when the sun goes down, there are no rules, or we think there are no rules. But I'm not, whatever. So probably gonna see some people that you've never seen before. Oh, and it's summer break, dude.
you're right.
Yeah. Kids that are in school or going to school, it's their summer break. So,
Quick thing. My buddy Johnny just said that it keeps lagging and it keeps stopping. There is some connection issues, and I'm trying to work on that to figure it out. I thought if I hardwired into this network instead of going via Wi-Fi, it would help. But I think there's a issue with the actual program that I'm working with. So just bear with us. You might see some delays, and you might see some little skips, and you might miss out on a few things. And I apologize for that. We're still in that technical baby phase where we still don't quite have a grasp on like that, buffering and all that stuff. Like, I could try to, fake some technical lingo to you guys, but I don't want to sound stupid. So
yeah. They'll believe it.
Yeah, they will.
I'll believe it.
So just bear with us, and we're gonna try to iron out these details just to be able to connect with you guys better, because I know some of you guys are commenting right now, and some of the comments are just so far behind, and I apologize for that, just because of how it's going. So hopefully we can get this going. I'm trying to get the chat feed up so you can see what everybody's talking about. So, and I know you guys can see what everybody's saying in the chat feed, but I'm just trying to do my due diligence to be an effective host.
We're also recording it too, so.
Oh man, you know what? We were supposed to be recording it, but I forgot. I stopped. But I can always go back and download this video. But I will start recording. Don't judge me.
I love you, man.
Actually, you know what? I'll just download the video because it's too much.
Okay.
All right, but back to the bars being open. Okay. And don't get me wrong. When I say weird, I'm not saying these people. It's just not. It's not the crowd that I was used to. You get set in your ways, and you're like, man, these people are weird looking, and then, but it's just not the crowd that I was used to. Like, I was going in there to kind of, I would say I was kind of going in with like high school reunion mode. Like, I was gonna go in there and start high-fiving everybody that I didn't see in a long time, and it was like, yeah, man, we made it. Yeah, what you been doing for the last 8 weeks or whatever? And then it's like, I don't know any of these people. I can't high-five you. If I high-five you, it's just out of love and not like, hey, man, I missed you. Hey, it's a high five. Hey, nice to know you.
from an employee's point of view, that's good. New faces are always good. We were open only for to-go pizzas that whole time, and so I think we brought in like new business, you know. So that's always good.
I'm so glad that you guys were able to do that part of it, just because it's like, man, that was honestly that helped out a lot of people, just because even though they didn't get to stand in there and drink, but just being in that atmosphere, it gave them a little sense of like normalcy. So that was a plus, and that was awesome on that part.
Yeah.
So I thank Paulie and you guys for being able to do that. And then when you guys were able to open back up, man, it was like, huh, thank you.
Yeah.
Like it was a breath of fresh air. It was like, oh, where's a cigarette I can smell? But you guys are no smoking anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it changes. It changes for the better. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man. So how has this first couple of weeks being back open, how has that been? How is it? Is it still like surreal that you're back in the building and you're back doing what you love doing, or is it like, did you just catch back up, or was it just like jumping back on the bike and going for a ride again?
That's a really good question. A little bit of both. Okay. It was. I mean, just because just so familiar. I mean, because we were selling pizza, just to-go pizza the whole time and package alcohol. It wasn't like I was just unfamiliar. Like, oh my gosh, what do I do? It wasn't really like that. Okay. It was honestly because I was not exercising very much during the quarantine. It was like the moving around and everything, and then I'm just like sweating. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not used to this. So, and I don't know about the other bartenders. I'm just like for me, it was a little bit interesting. And then the way my schedule is, just I don't know. I'm just not used to it yet.
Yeah, so
I'm used to it now.
Yeah, well, it's not
good now.
You mentioned that whole, getting back into it and being kind of out of. We're just gonna say out of shape.
Out of shape. I was out of shape.
I'm gonna just jump in and be like, you know what? Perfect. Everybody was talking about like the whole quarantine weight and all that. Now, I'm one of those people, I wasn't really listening to it, and then I realized, man, Dre, dude, like that quarantine, it is real. Like you put on a few plus, like we're talking not just like 1 or 2, we're talking like 10 or 20. Like you put on extra weight, and I'm already a big dude, so it's like
I have free quarantine T-shirts.
You know what?
They're my normal T-shirts. I can't wear them.
It comes a point in your life you have to realize when enough is enough, and I think I'm at that point now because like after quarantine, I'm going back to work and everything. Right, I started to put on my my work shirts and my button downs, and you've reached a point when the shirt doesn't come together anymore. So I'm buttoning up, and there's like that diamond shape because it's splitting, and so I realized, and I actually signed up for the gym just because like I need to do something. I need to just, what? When everything starts to hurt, you need to change, and I'm at that point where everything's starting to hurt. And man, I got 4 kids and a wife. I got goals that I want to meet, so I told myself it's time that I step back and reevaluate what I'm doing with myself and get back in the gym and get my health back in order because it's real, man. I've seen people take this for granted, and the next thing you know, it's too late, and I don't want to be there. So I told myself, all right, it's time. I have to get back. Mm-hmm. So. That's kind of off topic, but I think
that's okay, man.
I think I had to throw that in there really quick.
I mean, it's a part of my mind as well. Every single day that I want to, it's really just like wearing clothes. Like I shouldn't be wearing that shirt. Okay, put that off to the side. But like I said before, I got a wedding in November, so I want to be in shape for that wedding day and those pictures. And
I want to be super fly for your wedding, too. I would just do a quick shout-out to all the people that's already tuned in. T Black, my boy, what's going on? We're always good people. Sister Andrea, hey, how you doing? I'm going to try not to curse too much because you're watching, all right? So forgive me if I do. Tam, man, I haven't seen you for a while. You know, my wife needs her nails done. I know you got that shop going. Bonson, man, what's up, homie? Donna, you always my favorite. Miss you, girl. Joseph, my man. Look, Kenny Kirkanich, my dude, and my boy Johnny Street. Thanks for tuning in, man. I hope we get some more people in the room, man. Let's.
Yeah, Johnny, we might be asking you for
technical
advice.
I wanted to say it. I wanted to be like, yeah, I thought of it first. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm excited, man. This is a new venture for me. It's something that, because I like to talk to people and I like to entertain people. So this is a new thing for me to do. So I thought this was a good way to do it. And, bringing on board Jake and Alex, who's not here due to, scheduling. I feel like we got a good mix. So, we're going to, like I said, we're going to keep away from the controversy as much as we can. There's going to be times that we have to dabble into it, but we want to stay on a positive side. Philip Lang, yes, thank you, buddy. I want to try to start producing these shirts. So, just to get the brand out there. I want this brand to be big. I want Manatee County to have something that they can say, hey, man, we were a part of that. That's my hometown that's doing that. So that's what I want this to turn into. So we're going to start producing these shirts. It has some stuff on the back that was dealing with the whole George Floyd thing but we're gonna keep going, man. We're gonna have some merchandise coming out into the future, but just keep your eyes peeled and tuned, and we'll try to do what we can.
What did Philip Lang say? I can't see far away.
You can't see that?
No.
You don't got your contacts on?
No. I don't wear contacts.
Oh. Would you just wear glasses for the look?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know what? It's people like you that I just want to trip. I have to wear glasses because I need them. If I take my glasses on, I can't see anything. I couldn't see the mic that's in front of me right now if I took my glasses off, and you wear it for fashion. Shame.
So what did Phil say?
Oh, he was like the shirt. He was talking about Jake. You didn't like my shirt. Oh, that's cool. Look at my shirt closer.
Thank you very much, Phil. I think you were with me when I bought this shirt. So thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right. Back. It kind of crushed my spirit, but it's all good. Back to what's going on. Oh, man. It's so much. There's so much going on, and I'm not talking about anything bad. It's so much good that's going on, man. What is something that just, when you think about it, you just get that smile, you just get that.
That's a great question again. I like watching videos of people grilling and smoking meat and making food. I am a big fan of.
You know what?
Yes.
Cooking makes me smile.
Yeah.
Even though you can ask my wife, when I'm actually cooking, for the most part, I look like such a miserable person. But it's just because I'm deep in thought. I'm trying to figure that. I'm trying to make it perfect. So I get this scowl on my face that it's I don't want anybody in the world to talk to me. But really, it's just me trying to focus. But I guess I don't have that friendly kitchen face. I apologize for that, but that's I love to cook, man. I love to try new things. I feel like I'm an adventurous when it comes to food. I want to try new things. If I haven't tried it before, I'll try it. If I don't like it, at least I know I tried it.
Yeah, of course. That's what makes me happy is right now.
Food. Yeah.
Well, in the social media, you look on your Facebook, your news feed, and it's just. At least I've got that.
What? And speaking of food, for a lot of you that don't know me that well and don't know what I do, I started cooking. I've been cooking for forever, but I started a business about 2 years ago called Fritter King, and
Fritter King.
Yeah. Thanks for the shout out. Yeah. So I started cooking 2 years ago. Started selling food, and was doing pretty good, and circumstances happened where I had to step away from it for a while, and then now I'm at the point where I can start back up, And like it feels so good to start back up and start cooking because in my opinion, man, you learn a lot about a person when you sit down and feed them. A person is more willing to open up to you when they're eating with you. If you want to know about somebody, have a meal with them, and you will find out so much. Because if they're comfortable enough to eat with you, they're comfortable enough to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And especially if you are the one that cooked them the meal,
Yeah,
they're gonna have to say something.
Honestly, it's similar to being a bartender because some people go into the bar and it could be an empty bar and it's just that bartender sitting across from you, and if you have that bartender that has that gift to just get you to open up, food and booze will do it, man. They'll get you to open up, and it's like, I didn't realize I would talk. You know what? I apologize. We're not interacting with the fans. You're right. And was that Heather?
That was Phil.
Oh, Phil?
Yeah.
Phil, I talked to you, man. You didn't say nothing back. You just was mentioning Jake's shirt, but I let it slide. But yeah.
Are the comments delayed?
You know what?
Because of the connection?
I don't know what's going on with the comments. It's.
We're 30 seconds ahead.
Yeah, we're 30 seconds ahead of what you guys are seeing. So we'll have to jump back and try to figure that out. Let me see if I can just jump in the regular Facebook Live so I can actually interact with you guys instead of going through because I got a watch party going, and so I think that's where I'm getting kind of mixed up.
Right on.
So let me jump in the regular live. Oh, there it is. Yep, I see. All right, yeah, I see a few different people. All right, yeah, I got you now. So if you're watching it on the watch party I'm hosting, go ahead and you know what? I don't know how that works, so forgive me. But I'm gonna try to get to your comments and interact with you guys as much as possible. Like I said, we're still at a learning phase of getting all this done. We're going to be looking for some technical advice from some of you tech-savvy individuals out there. So, hey, if you are tech-savvy and you feel like you can lend a hand, I am open ears. I am not a big-headed person where I feel like I know everything because I'm still learning. I'll be learning until the day I die. So I am always looking for the advice for what I'm trying to do.
So I was going to mention something that I have discovered recently about myself, and it's going to help me with my, losing that weight.
Get that physique, you get that beach body right?
Right, yeah. I love hummus, and I haven't really been eating it a lot lately, except for really recently lately.
So
not a lot of people know I love hummus, but I do. I love hummus.
I like hummus too, but it's one of those things where it's everyone. It's not one of those things that I can go out and eat hummus every day. It's
right.
Let me pick up some hummus, and then it's 3 years later I'll eat some more hummus.
Let me go back. Yes, I do love hummus. You know what I love more than hummus? I love snacking. I love snacking on something, especially if I'm watching TV or whatever. Carrots, baby carrots, and hummus instead of pita bread or pita chips. It's my new thing. What do you think?
So if I'm gonna eat a carrot, I'm gonna
dip it in ranch.
Douse that baby in ranch dressing. I will take a carrot with my ranch dressing. Yes, that's the type of guy I am.
You gotta stop with the ranch.
You know what? I tried keto and they was like, yeah, go with ranch, man. That's the best thing for you with keto. And I did pretty good on keto. I lost 20 pounds and then I stopped doing it. And then I ballooned back up. So
that's what I've heard about the keto. But dude, I'm telling you, carrots, baby carrots by themselves, baby carrots and hummus. Just try it. Just try it.
I'm willing to try
or
it.
cauliflower.
You know what? I do like cauliflower.
There you go.
And I like raw cauliflower. I don't like cooked cauliflower. I'll do the cauliflower rice and put stuff in it, but for the most part, I don't care for cooked cauliflower. My mom, she was a cauliflower junkie, and she would that and broccoli. She would put she would get cheese and boil cauliflower and put all kind of cheese on it and everything. And that's the only thing she would eat. She would make me and my brothers like ribs and rice and all this stuff. Yes. And then the only thing she would be eating is cauliflower. I was like, what are you eating cauliflower? Like all this food, you decide you're going to eat cauliflower. Why?
Oh, that's funny. Well, that's great. I got a little question for you.
I'm all ears.
Because something a few of my friends, and your friends too, talked about a little bit this morning. Grilling steaks. Do you prefer, if you had to choose one or the other, cooking steaks either by grilling them or by cooking them on a cast iron skillet?
Depending on the flavor that I'm trying to get across.
Okay.
So if there are times that I want like that grill, that nice mesquite smoky flavor, and then there are times that I want that nice, fried with that has a little bit of a bark on the steak. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it does depend on what I'm trying to get. I'm not trying to, it's a hard thing to say. If somebody says, "Oh well, I'm just gonna grill my steaks," I would tell that person, "Hey man, open up your mind."
So people who grill steaks are just closed-minded people.
Not just grill steaks, but if that's what they say is that's the only way I'll eat a steak is by grilling it. I would say, hey, open up your mind and experience it a different way. Now, if you've experienced it a different way and you just prefer it that way, that's different. But if you just the only way you've ever had a steak was by it being grilled, I would say, man, open up your expand your horizon. That's the only thing I can tell you is because, man, there's things that I thought I would only eat a certain way, and then I had somebody make it for me a different way, and it's like, man, that's pretty good. I'm all about it, So it's
okay.
It's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, so I noticed my comment that I put into the comment box just popped up. So yeah, there's a lag. There's some stuff going on with this. Maybe I have to bump up my internet and see what's going on. But like I said, we're still working on it
too. So, okay, so steaks, grill, cast iron skillet. My beautiful fiance, she has cooked me like the best meal. Like right in the beginning when we were first, dating, and she made.
Shout out to my stagehand, James. My son is making sure we are well lubricated.
Yes, thank you. It was fillets on the cast iron. Fillets on a cast iron. Yes, I will accept it. But I love grilling. Charcoal.
So, okay, wait, hold on, wait. If you're saying grilling, are we grilling steaks or are we just grilling in general now? Because if it's a steak, I am not grilling a steak on charcoal. I just can't do it. It's too much effort to do steak that long. Because when I do a steak I
don't cook it for very long.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't cook a steak for very long either. So all that prep time for charcoal to just cook a steak for 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I really don't want to do it for just 10 minutes of cook time to prep it for 30 minutes.
You can cook sides, asparagus.
What's going on, brother Rico?
Else. Hey, Rico!
All right, yeah, sorry. I'm trying to be more interactive with you guys.
Rico in Missouri. Hello, Rico. I miss you, buddy. I'm representing. But Joe, okay. Joe's in Kansas, but whatever. This place is in Kansas.
That's Kansas.
This is Kansas City, Kansas. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Anyways, this is okay.
Okay. Back
Kansas City barbecue. Yeah, that's a different conversation. I'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But I am a big fan of the charcoal grilling and a lot of work for cooking steaks. It's worth it, man, to me. But if it's like a fillet on the cast iron, go for it. I don't see
Yeah,
anything
man.
wrong with that because there's other stuff. Yeah, I
I
get.
just feel like, man, if
That was steaks on the grill.
you know,
Come on.
I feel like, man, if I'm doing a steak on the grill, I'm gonna do propane because it's a quick prep time. I don't have to get my coals to be at a perfect temperature. I can turn my propane on and have it set, and once I'm done, turn that propane off instead of having to prime my charcoal, cook my steak for 10 minutes, and then have to let the grill cool down for a day.
I always find other things to put on the grill if I'm gonna do something like that. Like I said, like sides or something else.
Yeah, you know what? I guess I'm set in my ways.
That's cool.
I was just talking about people that are set in their ways, and now I'm telling you I'm set in my ways about it. But it's just, I've done it on charcoal. I just prefer it on propane. Yeah,
Gotcha.
When we're grilling.
Okay.
You mentioned Kansas City. I make a mean barbecue. You mentioned Kansas City barbecue. I make a mean barbecue. And some people say it's not barbecue, it's smoke. But smoking meat is in the same realm as barbecuing. Yeah, it's all it's the process isn't the same, but we're in the same genre. Okay. But I do like that low and slow type of smoke.
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
If I'm doing ribs, my ribs are on for like 4 to 5 hours. If I'm doing
Oh, you don't do the 3-2-1 method
what the hell is a 3
for ribs?
Nope.
3-2-1 method.
What is 3-2-1 method?
As far as my understanding goes, you grill them for 3 hours, then you wrap them in foil, put them back on the grill for 2 hours, and then you take them out and put barbecue sauce on them, and then you put them back in, smoke them for another hour. 3-2-1, 6 hours.
No,
Smoking
Phil, it's not
ribs.
bright. Jake is just a pretty boy, and he has to wear he wears his sunglasses at night.
My future is bright, Phil. Thank you.
I've never done the 3-2-1 method. Normally I get my smoker going, and then I set my ribs on there, and I'm a one flipper. That's it. I put my ribs in meat side down first, and then I flip it. And then after I flip it, I don't touch it until it's time to come out. That's
nice.
it. Yeah. Now,
nice.
when it goes to like my pork butts like a 14-hour process, dude.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm on there for 14 hours. Like normally, when I was cooking out at a bar in Bradenton, I would put that on the night before I'd cook it at home in my home smoker, and it would be on there for like 12 hours, and then I would transfer it to that smoker over there for another 2 to 4 hours. Yeah, and man, when I say you would pull it out and it was just like it fell, like just and it was just so moist, and it was like that's dry. No, man, it's the moistest thing, I'm
moist.
I'm one of those people. I was a big fan of like just smothering my ribs and smothering my chicken and smothering all my pork in barbecue sauce on the grill, on the smoker, whatever. Now I've grown and I've learned how to manage my meat. So
So Dre knows how to manage his meat.
So now I'd rather you taste the flavor of my meat.
Taste the flavor of his meat, guys.
Jeez, Jake.
I'm sorry.
Wish you would grow up. Yeah. But yeah, I want you to listen. I want you to taste the flavor of my meat and not the sauce. You know what? People enjoy my meat, so say what you want.
I'm sure they do. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta look up and say, Jesus, take the wheel, because that's all you can do at this point. There's nothing you can say to rebuke what he's saying right now. So Jesus, take the wheel. That's it. That's all I can say.
All right. I have a question when you're talking about the pork butt. Do you inject any of the meats that you smoke or anything?
I do not inject anything. So with my pork butt, it's a dry rub, and I let that season for at least like a day, a full 24 hours before I put it on.
Okay.
With like chicken is more like a marinade, a dry rub mixed with some liquid so it can go in, because when you're smoking chicken's gets dry easy. No matter what, kind of
Yes.
the meat it is,
Yeah.
it will get dry if you don't pay attention to it or if you don't season it the right way. So I tend to use like a marinade type process with my chicken. Ribs is a dry rub. Brisket. Brisket is a simple dry rub. I don't like to see people just putting overly seasoned brisket. Brisket is a meat that you just want to taste the actual flavor of the meat and the smoke. You know, with my ribs and my chicken, there's a process of like 12 to 14, maybe 20 spices and salts and sugars and stuff I put on it. But with my brisket, I use a mustard base and then salt, pepper, and garlic. That's it. That's all I put on my brisket. Nothing else.
I heard that. For those that don't know, I'm getting into smoking and all that kind of stuff. I'm new at all of this, but I'm fascinated by it, and I watch tons of videos on it. So that's why I'm asking so many questions. So when you said you put the mustard, I only saw one video where the guy explained why he put the mustard on. You don't even put the mustard on for flavor. You use it to make this
the salt, the pepper, and the garlic stick.
all stick and stay.
To make a bark, yeah. That's all. That's
To make
all
the bark.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
the only thing the mustard's for. And it's not like a heavy layer of mustard. It's squirt it, rub it down.
Right.
Throw your salt and pepper and garlic on there.
Okay.
And with that, because brisket is such a finicky meat, you have to load it down. You don't be afraid to put salt and pepper and garlic on that brisket. Like, it literally, your brisket should probably be black when you put it on there because of the salt and pepper, or you should see nothing but seasoning on there.
Yeah.
Just because you want it to just absorb. And then that's like a 14 to 16 hour process.
That was my next question is how long? Yeah, 14 to 16.
Yeah, and that one is that's a process where it's it's wrapped for a while, then it's put into then it's taken out, and then it's put into butcher paper, and then it goes back into the smoker, and then you take it out in that same butcher paper, wrap it in a towel so the juices kind of contract back into the meat.
Yeah.
So your meat doesn't turn out dry. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So your meat doesn't turn out dry. So that's when you wrap it in a towel, put it in a cooler, and let it rest for like an hour before serving. So you give that meat that time to pull the juices back in.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, man. It's a process. It's a science. John Tapper has bar science, or beer science, or whatever he calls it.
Bar.
This is meat science.
This is meat science.
Meat science, man.
I'm scared to do a brisket yet because I don't want to disrespect the cow, man.
That is a great fear to have because my first brisket, like I was terrified, and you know what? My first brisket, I butchered. My wife was so mad because I wasted like $60 on this brisket.
Yeah, they're expensive,
and
man.
It was terrible. It was dry, and then like my wife, she loves burnt ends. Like she likes the brisket, but her favorite part of it is the burnt ends. Now, burnt ends, man, you got to make love to them babies.
Yes.
Oh, man. You got to get you that brown sugar, and you get it's meat candy. That's what burnt ends are.
Yes, sir.
Like, if you are a barbecuer and somebody says meat candy, you know exactly what they're talking about.
Yep.
Burnt ends. And you can have beef burnt ends, or you can have pork burnt ends. People assume burnt ends are just subjected to beef. It's not. You can have pork burnt ends too. And I don't think the pork ones are as good as the beef, but they're still delicious.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that. I haven't really been, like, Heather and I have not really been going out that often, like going to new places to go out to eat very much at all. Well, whatever. There is one place, and because I am from Kansas City and I'm kind of a snob when it comes to barbecue and whatever, we went to this barbecue place in downtown Sarasota, and they have bacon burnt ends. Did you hear what I just said? I said bacon burnt ends. You said meat candy.
So
They're really sweet though because they put like a really like sugary glaze with them. But I don't care. They're so good.
So you just said bacon burnt ends, right? So I don't know. I think it was my son that brought it home for my wife. It was from Dunkin' Donuts. They had what was the pepper and brown sugar pepper bacon. It was like bacon candy.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh man, that is so good. Like it was like they have something on their hands when they did that. It's like you can see like Dave Chappelle's character, Tyrone Biggums. You got any crack? Like that's how it was with that bacon. It's like, anybody got some bacon? Like, yeah, it was that good, and it was like.
It's funny that my neck just itched real quick, and I was like.
And so anytime my wife she takes something out, she's like, "Oh, you can do it better." So she always encourages me to take something that we try out and make it at home and put my own twist on it. So it's super cool and. Now you say you like my shirt, Phil? Now is when now you want to say that was 10, 15 minutes ago that I told you that I was.
It's delayed, man.
It's not delayed 15 minutes. Don't stick up for Phil right now.
Always stick up for Phil.
You know, Phil, I'm going to argue with you right now because that was 10, 15, almost 20 minutes ago that I told you about like how I felt that I was depressed that you didn't like my shirt. Now you want to say you like my shirt? I don't want your sympathy likes, Phil. You know what? The next time you see me, Phil, you owe me a shot. Boom! I said it. I meant it.
It'll be November 21st, 2020.
Was he in jail?
No.
Listen.
My wedding.
Where's Phil live?
It'll be at my wedding.
But where does he not live in Bradenton?
No.
Oh, okay.
He lives in Kansas City.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm thinking there's a different Phil that used to come into the bar. I think his name was Phil. All right, Phil, you got a reprieve. But yes, November 21st, 2020, you will be getting me a shot at Jake's wedding. And FYI, it's not an open bar. I don't know, but I'm just assuming weddings are expensive.
They are expensive.
My bad if I just ruined the party. Just telling all your business on the book.
Oh, boy. Oh,
Heather's going to kill me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, meat candy. That bacon was something crazy. And I've yet to try it because every time we get bacon, like bacon is a commodity in this house that does not last long. It's like you fight for bacon. It's like you watching Mad Max in the Thunderdome and there's that piece of bacon in the middle and there's 7 people just looking at that one piece of bacon and looking at each other like somebody's going to die today.
Yeah. Someone's going to die today. I'm going to have that bacon.
I'm going to have that bacon.
He doesn't know
bacon
it.
on your hide.
Dad doesn't know it, but he's a dead man if he gets near that bacon.
Oh, all right. So moving on, because we could sit here and talk about food. I could sit here. I don't know about Jake,
and we will.
I could talk about food all day. Like,
yeah,
this could be a 48-hour long live just talking about food, and I would never scratch the surface.
Last question about food, real quick. The fat cap on your pork or your brisket or whatever, up or down?
So some people say go down, fat cap down. I say fat cap up because I want that fat to
like melt on top
melt
and
into the meat.
Yeah.
So you have more. Your meat's juicier.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves a juicy piece of meat. Damn you guys.
I love a juicy piece of meat.
Yeah. So and some people say different. I've had where it was different, but in those instances, it was I felt like it was a little bit drier. Still, flavor was still there, and it was still moist, but it didn't have that, like, you see the commercials where they take that piece of brisket and they squeeze it and it all just that juice just comes out. That's from having the fat cap up, in my opinion.
Okay. Right on.
What do you keep looking over my shoulder for?
What?
What do you keep looking over my shoulder for?
I'm burping and I'm getting away from the mic.
Oh, you trying to be correct about it.
Yeah.
You just turned my headphones up.
Right on.
No, your comment has not come through yet. we are having difficulties. You know what? Just go ahead and tell me what your comment was, and I will answer it in public. Person.
Great question.
So, if you didn't hear what the question is, do I change my methods if it's cheap meat or expensive meat? The different types of cut, whether it's like a Walmart brand or like a Chop Shop brand or a Detweiler's brand. I do slightly. I don't deviate too much from the original formula, but I do slightly depending on where I'm getting the meat from, simply because, of course, different stores have different quality. Walmart, which there's nothing wrong with buying meat from Walmart, but you just have to realize the quality of meat that you get from Walmart won't be as good as the quality of meat you get from an actual butcher, like a Detweiler's or a Chop Shop, because they take the time to package their meat and cut their meat. So they put a lot of care into that. Walmart's a big chain where they're more so worried about quantity and not so much about quality. So yeah, what that is, if I'm getting a piece of meat from Walmart, which I try not to, if I'm serving the public like that, and even if I'm serving my family, I'm not gonna get a cheap piece of meat simply because I value flavor. So that's what I want to do, is I want to keep that flavor going. So yeah, I guess you would have to switch it up just a tiny bit, but if you have to switch it up so much, then steer clear of that meat. That's all I can say. Steer clear of that cuts of meat if you have to switch up your process that much to compensate for the type of meat you have.
That's awesome. Yeah, good question, for sure.
All right, so moving on. I know that was pretty loud into the mic, but it is what it is. Yeah, we got a script, guys. We are legit, too legit.
Not a lot on it, but
There's not a lot
it's
on
here.
It. So
Yep. What were you about to say?
I'm just reading it, and it's like something that this week that's gave you hope in the world. You know what? Yes, let's talk about this. I do have, and forgive me for getting off on this little tangent because it's going to be a tangent. So something that gave me hope in this world this week, and I would say in the last week and a half. So, with all this nonsense, I'm not going to call it nonsense, but with all this turmoil that's going on and all this division that's happening, it's we started to become so divided. And it was really heartbreaking to see how divided we became. And it's like, what do you do? And then somebody, one of my friends, I think it was, my one of my good friends, she invited me to this page called Support Sarasota and Manatee Black-owned businesses. And to start off with, I was really wary about joining a group like that because when you first hear the name, it's like, oh man, it's one of those black-only, type groups. And me being a black guy, I don't want people to think I'm just gonna be, shop black, do that. I don't want anybody to tell me where to spend my money, and I'm not gonna tell anybody else where to spend their money. So I was really wary about joining this group to begin with. But then I paid attention and I watched it for a while, and I seen like how good and supportive this group was. This was one of those groups that it's truly a group that we actually need right now, simply because the group was started by, I believe, a mixture of people, white, black, and I don't know the full breakdown of it. But to see the amount of support and like help that this group has been given these black-owned businesses, and just giving people in general, it was so like it was such a good thing to see, especially during this time, because it started to get to a point where it looked like it was white against black, and it was like, damn man, I don't want to be in this situation where it seems to be a white versus black thing. If anybody knows me, I'm a mixed family. My oldest son is white as the driven snow, and my other kids are mixed. My wife is white. So, everything that's going on, I'm living it. I have to explain both sides to, my kids and, talk about it with my wife and stuff like that. So when I saw it originally, I was like, man, don't know if I want to be a part of it. And then I dug deep into it and I watched it progress, and I saw how much of a positive movement this group was, that it just gave me hope, man. It reinvigorated me to once get back on the cooking train and man, let me get back to work and start doing things, and because there's so much support out there. So that was one of those things that it kind of brought a tear to the eye, and it was like, oh man, this is what we need right now. We need to do things that they don't want us to do. They make money off us being divided. So to have this group bring us together, it was so cool. It was such a blessing, and I'm so appreciative of the group, because there's people in the group that's offering knowledge, they're offering support, whether it be financially, whether it be support by just showing up and buying your product, whether it be support helping you find grants and stuff like that. And
that's awesome.
It was just such a crazy, crazy in a good way. Man, there are really good, genuine people out there, and they're just getting overshadowed by all these negative folks. And that just gave me so much more it brought me back to a place where I wanted to be, where it was I feel good now. I feel good about things going on right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
It's crazy, man. And to this day, there was a lady, she reached out to me and she's like, man, if you need help with, excuse me, getting grants and stuff like that, I'm willing to help you. And she's been, in contact with me, sending me grants to go after and see if I qualify for. And it's it's not even the work that she's doing. It's just the thought that she put out there. And it was that's such an amazing thing to see right now.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. That was awesome. Thank you, Jay. That was. I didn't write much for this past week. Specifically, this past week, I can't really think of anything in particular, other than I just keep watching videos of people making food and grilling and smoking meat. And like you were saying earlier, food brings people together, and come up to the bar whenever I'm bartending and talk about food, and we'll talk each other's ear off, and that's really, really cool.
My son just brought up another thing, sorry to interrupt.
You're good.
Cool thing that's happening right now I see a lot of tattoo shops doing this. They are doing free cover-ups for hate tattoos.
I just saw something on Facebook today.
That is probably the cool, because everybody has that a period in time in their life where they just get something that they absolutely regret. They do something they absolutely regret. Sometimes it's more permanent than other things, and there are tattoo shops out there that say, "Hey, man, we will give you a free cover-up to cover up your hate tattoo if you choose, or depending on the size, we give you a big discount." But cool for the tattoo shops to be doing that. It's even cooler that these people have realized that what a mistake they made by doing this and whatnot, right? So it's that shows you people changing their views, and that's how everybody needs to be. They need to be able to change and evolve into something better. If you're comfortable with being who you are, man, that's cool. You would always strive to be better.
Yeah,
always strive to be better. That's the only thing I can say. If I have ran into anybody today, it's man, your biggest goal in life is to, one, be happy, two, strive to be better.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's I wish I would have come up with that as well, but because I just saw it today. I mean, I was just like, oh, that's awesome, right on.
Yeah.
So the picture that was shown, a guy was bald and he had a tattoo on the back of his head. I'm like, man, yeah.
Yeah, you know
Got
what?
the cover up of an eagle or some kind of bird. It was cool.
Yeah,
It was good.
It's a dope thing to see. Like, man, there is change for the better coming in. It's gonna happen. We don't need to assume that just because it is not happening as fast as you want it to change, that it's not gonna happen. You just gotta keep up the fight, man. That's it. Keep up the fight for change for the better.
For the better.
That's it. Change for the better.
It's easy
That
to
just gave me a tingly feeling.
Yeah. It's easy to complain at anything and everything right now.
Yeah, man.
But, as
But
long
what
as
are you
can
doing to make that better?
Right. If you can't change it, if you have no control, and if you can't, because, I mean, let's face it, we can't stop coronavirus. And, well, we can. Hold on. We can. But, all right, never mind. Yeah.
It's the inevitable.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
no,
yeah.
we can change it. We can do things to prevent this from becoming worse. We can do things to possibly cure it. Like there's never not hope.
Fun videos that people have been posting on social media of things that they've been doing during quarantine in their free time. That is also really cool. People are getting really creative, and I like that. People are finding things to do, to fill the time.
Yes, and
it's enjoyable. People were doing things with their kids, and
all these TikTok videos and challenges that's coming out. Like,
yeah.
I honestly, I can be a grumpy old man sometimes, and I'm like, these damn kids in these TikTok videos. And then I'll sit down and watch some of these TikTok videos and like, all right, that's pretty funny. Like, what is it? What's the new one? The Wipe Me Down challenge. And it's like, oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, you need to go on. I encourage everybody to go on whatever social media outlet you have, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok.
Yeah.
And they have it up there. It's called the Wipe Me Down challenge. And basically, it's somebody cleaning their window or glass or mirror, and they wipe it down, and something changes in the scene after they wipe it down. And some of them are so funny. It's like, you just can't help but chuckle.
All right.
It's like, ha.
Ha! I can't wait.
Yeah.
Right on.
Oh, man. Oh, man. You know what? This has been a great show. I am so happy about
Very
this.
positive, happy show.
This has been a very enlightening and happy, and it just gave you that feel like everything's gonna be okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel better.
So, oh man,
something that happened this week that gives me hope in the world. A show like this. Hey man, if you guys see us out in public, high fives are always welcome. You know what? Something just came to mind. A hug from a stranger. Okay. If people are open to hugging, yes.
Well, no. The other day from Tom.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He I wouldn't say he's a stranger, but we don't interact that much. And like he's like, "Hey man, can I give you a hug?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, you can give me a hug, Tom." Like that's what's needed right now. And that was just a cool thing.
That was a good. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah. He really appreciated it too.
Yeah.
So
that was like, because you never know what a hug, a handshake, or even just a hey will do to somebody's life.
You brightened up his day after that. I'm not kidding. Like, yeah.
And the hey will that could be the difference from that person, doing something really reckless, or that person just sitting where they're at, or having a smile on their face. So, man, I encourage everybody to just be nice to each other. A high five, a hey, what's up, man? How's it going? If you make eye contact with me, I will at least say hello to you. That's a given. We need to stop, being afraid to being kind to each other. Like, let's get back to being humans. Let's get our humanity back.
I mean, we don't have to agree with every single thing that's going on right now. And, let's, instead of arguing or whatever. Let's just have a beer together.
Some people like Charlotte. I like Quilted Northern. Like,
yeah,
we don't have to agree on everything, but we
talk
can
about
be
sports, talk about food.
Yeah, we can be cordial to each other. We can be kind to each other. We can be hospitable. We can be humans. Let's bring that humanity back, man. Like we've lost touch with humanity. Let's get back to humanity. That's how we're gonna change. Let's stand shoulder to shoulder and be like, man, I don't know you, but I love you.
Dre, I love you, buddy.
I love you too, Jake.
All right.
I know you though. So
you don't know me.
You don't know me, Craig. So we are about to get on out of here, but before we go, I just want to give you guys a little sneak peek into the future of Loudest in the Room. What's kind of boiling up and bubbling in my head to take this further. I want to get to a point where we're doing some live remotes from, like, hey, a Main Street Live. We just pop up and we, have some conversations with some people. Have some witty banter.
Mm-hmm.
We do some stuff like that. We show up to a bar. We show up to wherever. Hell, it might be the beach. It might be Walmart. And one of us pull out a phone and be like, tell me how you feel today. That's what, we want to do stuff like that to get more involved in the community. We want to, the goal for this journey that I call it, this journey is to just grow and bring people close together. Hell, you never know, man. We might do a barbecue and just invite a bunch of people out that just you would never see together. And they're just like, hey, there's some pretty cool people on the other side of the bridge or whatnot. Of course, we're going to do some crazy stuff. People are like, are you going to do any challenges? I don't know yet. We might do a challenge. We might do a mukbang. What is it? The seafood challenge. What's
the Phil? So Phil texts me. They're way behind, but he's right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Propane.
So yeah,
he says no.
No to propane.
He says no to propane. That's not a barbecue.
Well, propane is not a barbecue. Propane is for steak. Let's get that clear, Phil. I'm gonna get with you, Phil. Propane is for steak. Propane is for quick cooking. Barbecue is a slower cook.
I'd still say charcoal over propane for anything, not including steak.
We're gonna agree to disagree.
Okay, that's fine. We can still have a beer together.
Oh, we will have many of them. Many beers.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking about the future of Loudest in the Room, Phil, we will have some of these shirts. Phil.
Yeah.
Some swag that we just pop up. If you see one of us out with a backpack in the upcoming months, there might be some swag in that backpack that we just eventually throw out.
I'm not going to walk around in public with a backpack now. Someone's going to take my backpack.
Well, Jake will
steal my stuff.
Jake will have on a backpack that's see-through. So
what if I'm in Oniko?
You know nothing of Oniko. Except for the taco trucks. But yeah, we are going to be doing stuff like that. We want to be able to engage more with the community. So we will be out there and we will be donning the Loudest in the Room gear with, maybe some hats, some shirts, a koozie or something, maybe a keychain, a sticker. We never know what we're going to do.
3, 2, 1 for ribs. That's what Phil just texted me.
Phil. Like, I want to have this argument with you in person. Like, I don't want to do it over the internet. I don't want to do it over the interweb. I want to do it in person.
He's gonna have to.
It might be like
come down here.
A Mike Tyson in a Holyfield fight. I will bite your ear off. I'm just saying.
Not if he bites yours first, man.
That is true. Who will be the Tyson in this bout? But.
Well, yeah, and also, I mean, my idea for this, this whole thing was, I was gonna get to talk about football.
You will get to talk about football. Football. You know what? Let's talk about it quick.
We don't have to.
Okay. Real quick, because we're having those glimmers of hope keep shining through that football is going to be coming. And
they haven't canceled anything. They haven't announced anything. The only I don't know. What's that?
Fauci knows nothing about football.
Well, he has been talking, and he's been talking today. It's slim, and he said in order for them to play football, or in order for football to happen, everyone has to be in a bubble, basically living in a bubble, and they're going to be testing players constantly. I don't know, man.
You know what? We're going to get past this. We're going to get through this, and I see us watching some football, watching something, getting back to our normal.
I really hope so.
You know, because honestly, I'm tired of watching replays. I'm so tired of watching.
Well, they've got soccer matches that have no fans in the stands.
It's not the same.
Or slim.
It's
or
not the same.
Small. Oh, I know that. But you know, American football. I would love to just watch American football. Yeah. And I know it may not happen. Just today was announced for college football. 13 players from the University of Texas were
tested positive
for coronavirus.
I saw that too, and it's like, oh man, that's pretty.
What's that?
Oh yeah, Zeke.
And including Ezekiel Elliott. So, 5 people from the Dallas Cowboys, including superstar Ezekiel Elliott.
I wouldn't call him a superstar, but
he's a superstar because you know who he is.
Okay.
You don't have to like him. I'm not a fan, but I know he's really good at what he does.
On that note. But yeah, I hope we get to see some kind of sports in general to be played with fans. No, you know, it's cool to see it without fans, but the fans make it, man. The fans make it what it is. I'm sorry to these players that, you know, I respect your craft, but remember, the fans made you what you are.
Yeah.
And that's my take on that.
Right on.
You know what? I think this was a very productive and it was a very wonderful show. We're going to go ahead and get on out of here. But, Jake, do you have any last words?
You know, my last words are basically what we were talking about in the very end is just, you know, we don't have to agree on the same things. And everything's real divided right now. And, you know, we can still have a beer together. And we can still hang out. And, you know, let's be nice.
You're right. And I would just piggyback on the same thing, man. Just be good to each other, man.
Because we need each other.
We do.
You know,
you don't have to agree with
me. We need each other.
But just be nice to each other, man. Just be kind. Remember when we were taught in elementary school and in primary school? Be nice to one another. But other than that, man, from everybody here at the Loudest in the Room family, we wish you all a good night. And next time, hopefully, Alex will be here to join in the conversation. Like we said, we're not going to get on to those divisive conversations anymore. We just want to stay clear of that. Like I said, if it needs to be talked about, we will talk about it. But we will stay on a positive note because we want to educate people. You know, because honestly, what I want to do in the future is I would like to get in front of some high school students and teach them what credit will do for them. Because when I was in high school, nobody taught me about that. And I put myself in a position that I am still trying to work myself out of. Now, if we can teach the youth that, hey, credit's a good thing, and it's also it's a double-edged sword, man. It can hurt you, and it can put you in a great position. So, yeah, I want to do stuff like that in the future. But like I said, from myself and Mr. Jake, Slim Jesus Stetnich, and our compadre Alex that will be with us on the next episode, hopefully. We hope you guys have a great night. We hope to see you soon. And if you see me out in public, man, I take high fives, man. Hugs are okay, but we gotta build up to a hug. We gotta build up. We gotta build up to hugs.
After you're just saying I was hugging a stranger was a good thing.
Hugging a stranger is a good thing, but you know, I get worried when somebody just comes up to me with open arms. It's like, what are you, sir? What are you doing?
I gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, high fives, handshakes.
Where have you been?
Yeah. a head nod, a yo. I take them all, man. You guys have a wonderful night. Be good to each other, and we will see you on the next go around. You gotta dance it out.
Is it playing?
It is playing. You guys have a good night. See you next time.